Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm actually wanting to talk about a little something about, with restaurants and all that. Yeah, I'm gonna be talking about the restaurants and their decline and all that, and kind of talk about my thoughts on this. I hope everybody enjoyed their Halloween. Halloween was yesterday. I hope a lot of people enjoyed it. Whether if you celebrate the holiday or not, I hope people enjoyed the holiday, and all the decorations and all that. Halloween's definitely a pretty good holiday. You also get, special stuff like at restaurants and all that. I've gotten a few things at some restaurants, over the years and all that. From like McDonald's and all that. Actually, McDonald's, I don't know if I got any from McDonald's or not. I was actually going to get some, like something, but I never got around to it because, I'm kind of short on cash. So I kind of just passed on it. Besides, it wasn't really something I was really wanting anyway from McDonald's. I was hoping this year they would actually have the similar buckets they had last year, but they kind of changed them up. They actually don't look too bad. I might actually showcase one of them because my siblings do have some, so I might show that off. But I do kind of like how, we get restaurants that do this kind of stuff and all that with like Christmas and, all this, and I do like that a lot. I'm gonna say this though, that I do think we are kind of hitting a big problem though with not just restaurants but stores and other companies too. Heck, even Hollywood is getting. I'm actually gonna be making a video about that. It's in its own video later. But it's actually meeting its demise too and all that. Now Hollywood, unlike restaurants and stores and all that. Well, I guess some restaurants have been struggling for a while, but compared to Hollywood, I don't think they've struggled as bad for the most part. But they have been struggling too, and all that. But I'm actually been wanting to kind of talk about this and where I feel like we're kind of getting into the future and all that. Fast food and sit-down restaurants, because there's dine-in restaurants too, where they're pretty much, you can either order and take out or you can like dine in. I'm not sure if there's actually some restaurants where you can only order it. I think most of them you can actually at least take it to go. I could be wrong. Unless it's a family-owned restaurant, I think you can pretty much just take it to go. I don't know. But, because some of them you have to actually wait for the food to be made too, so, I don't know. But I know, like, places like, I think Red Lobster and like, Red Lobster and then, Longhorn and Texas Roadhouse and all that, and Chili's, and you can actually go in and like you can get it to go and all that, I think you can actually call and maybe get the orders in, but I don't know. But my thing is though we're in a very, very bad pickle right now with this stuff. Like, honestly, things are not looking very good, honestly, with a lot of these places. Like dining places and places like, like I've said, Red Lobster and all that have been struggling with business, and not just them, but like fast food places are starting to decline too, and all that. They're not declining as much, and I think the reason why that is because a lot of people usually just get it to go. It's a lot easier to just go through a drive-through and all that, so they're actually not struggling as bad as like places like, like dine-in places and all that, like Applebee's and all that, because those places you actually have to sit down in and all that. But the thing is, though, is I do think COVID-19 has caused a lot of this stuff to kind of, hit the demise and all that with these fast food places. It's kind of put them, in a. I mean, a lot of these were struggling. Not as bad as Hollywood, but they were already struggling as it is because, competition. You do have, like, Texas Roadhouse and all that, which is like, Longhorn and Colton's and all that, and all that. You got, competition, which is, which kind of, causes a lot of this stuff to happen, but a lot of these places, though, too, are, struggling because, either they've gotten too expensive and all that, or they've kind of screwed up the business and all that, and that's definitely where the problem, I feel like, is coming in, with all this. It's basically just freaking backfiring in their faces, but like I said, it's not all their fault. Unlike Hollywood, I don't think a lot of, I'm sure it messed up some stuff with Hollywood, but honestly, Hollywood has been struggling for a long time, and they've been struggling for years and all that, and them saying that freaking COVID-19 screwed all this up, that's a bunch of bull crap. It is bull crap. Where, like, restaurants and stores and all that, I can kind of understand where they're kind of coming from, And that's kind of the thing, though. Like, I do feel like we're hitting a very huge problem. And I feel like it's only going to get worse. A lot of these fast food places they're just declining. And yeah, them raising prices is not helping, like Subway and all that, They're raising the prices, which is causing, a lot of problems too. But a lot of them also have been raising the prices because everything keeps going up. Yeah, everything's been going up. Since the pandemic has happened, crap has been going up. I mean, I can understand it going up a little bit, because they have to make their money back, but it's not going down. The crap keeps going up and up. So a lot of these stores and restaurants that sell food and all that, and like electronics and stuff, so like Best Buy and all that, have to get their parts and all that from other countries. And the problem is it's costing more money to make the stuff for these stores to actually sell it, or the restaurants to serve the food, because they actually have to buy the food. But there are some ridiculous stuff, like I've seen people like Pizza Hut sell like chicken wings and all that for I think it's almost $10 for 8 pieces now, boneless wings. It's freaking ridiculous how much that crap is. That's ridiculous there. But there's some of them too that, they've gone up a bit, like Subway, but Subway also has to, get a lot of this crap too and all that from, places and all that. So, because they don't just have vegetables, they have cheese and all that too, and it's just it's freaking chaos and all that. It's just chaos. And I do feel like, yeah, we're probably going to end up seeing probably a lot of these chains probably either go bankrupt and shut everything down, or they're gonna end up shutting down a good chunk of their locations and all that. Even places like McDonald's are getting hit too. McDonald's hasn't announced that they're shutting down a lot of locations yet, but I have a feeling they're getting ready to get to that. They're getting ready to get to all that, and I do feel like we are getting into a place like that. Now, McDonald's and other fast food places, a big part of why they're struggling is they gotten kind of lazy with their dining rooms and all. They look like crap. And some of them actually, I will say, some of them that got remodeled don't look awful, but there's a lot of them that look very ugly and all that. Have you guys been inside of a McDonald's? Have you seen how bad and plain it looks? Now, I've seen some older images of a lot of them, and they don't look too unique, but there were a lot of them too that still had Ronald McDonald and all that. There was their play areas and all that had Ronald McDonald and all that, on their signs and all that and on the walls. And now they pretty much got rid of all their class and all that. that's the thing with McDonald's and all that. McDonald's probably, I feel like out of all of them, has definitely fallen probably the worst because it's just because it was probably one of the most unique, maybe the most unique, restaurant on earth. It was kind of like it was once it was kind of like Disney in a way. You know how Disney used to be a very family, friendly company and all that. I mean, they had problems behind the scenes, I feel like, all the time. Like McDonald's had that too. But they still, cared about the customers and all that and wanted to make it happy and magical and all that. And then they got too corporate and basically ruined it. That's exactly what freaking McDonald's has done. McDonald's has freaking just... They have, fucked up the damn company. It's not even freaking McDonald's anymore. If I were to, say McDonald's in the early 2000s and compare it till now, it's freaking not even the same thing. And I mean, I know over time, restaurants are going to change, that's just how it is. I mean, a lot of restaurants, including McDonald's, used to not even be dine-in, and you just got it to go. But the thing is, though, is, it doesn't even feel like McDonald's anymore, it doesn't feel like a McDonald's. If you go inside of the buildings, they feel more like a Starbucks or something. It really sucks. And yeah, Burger King and all that, too. I will say their building designs don't look the best either, but a lot of them still don't look too bad, and we even have one in Jeff that actually doesn't look very bad at all. It still looks unique and all that. And I've been to a lot of Burger Kings that actually still have their play areas in there too. They still have their play areas. I've seen that, that they have remodeled it. And I've heard some people saying that some of them have actually added play areas. Maybe McDonald's has done that too, but I feel like McDonald's has kind of been just getting rid of that stuff. Getting rid of stuff, that people actually enjoyed and made them want to come, Now no one really wants to go to McDonald's anymore except for the food, but even then they don't go inside the building, so their dining rooms are pretty much empty. I know that for a fact because I've been inside of McDonald's growing up. I don't know if I've said this yet, but McDonald's actually used to be my favorite fast food restaurant. I'm not kidding. It used to be my favorite fast food restaurant. Now it's probably my least favorite. I don't think Burger King is still my favorite. I probably would say, I don't know what I would say my favorite fast food restaurant is, but Burger King was kind of, probably about second and all that, but maybe it was second back then. I can't remember. But McDonald's was kind of my favorite. I will say that, Burger King is kind of bringing back some of their old stuff too, and which is pretty cool and all that. But that's the thing, though. A lot of these restaurants, though, are kind of just declining and all that. And I'm sure the pandemic definitely screwed over a lot of these places, especially the dine-in ones. Because with the pandemic, with the fast food places, they were saved because people were able to go through the drive-thru. With a lot of these places, they were closed for a long time. In some states, they were closed for forever. I mean, California, I think they had it closed for over a year, I think, 6 months or over a year. I can't remember how long it was, but it was closed for a long time. In Missouri, a lot of this stuff opened up a lot faster, but Missouri is also a smaller state, so, actually, I feel like it'd be the other way around. It'd be the bigger the state, I feel like, because it'd be more spread out. I feel like that would make more sense, but I don't know. But that's the problem, though. I feel like we are seeing declines. I mean, Denny's and TJ Fridays and all that, they're pretty much shutting down a lot of their locations. I think TJ Fridays actually, I've hardly seen any TJ Fridays anymore. They pretty much have shut all of them down. I have been to one in Columbia, last week. Actually, no, not last week. This week, actually, I've been to one at the beginning of the week. On TJ Friday. I've been there at the beginning of the week because I had a doctor's appointment and the food was okay. The dining room actually wasn't really bad, but there definitely wasn't a lot of customers there. I noticed it was very slow, and we went there around I guess we went there around 3 o'clock, so it's probably a little bit slower. But that's the problem too, is there are only a few workers going there, because that's the thing that's probably not helping with the restaurants either, is the workers. The restaurants, because they've lost so much money, during the pandemic. Now we're at the point where like they can't afford to like keep people, in check and all that. It's pretty much just like, this is kind of how it is and all that. And I noticed a lot of stores are kind of ending up like this too. I don't think the stores, surprisingly though, are struggling as bad as, but they're not struggling as bad as the restaurants. Really the ones that have shut down and all that were struggling for a long time, like Kmart and all that. Because back in 2019, they closed a good chunk of them down, leaving only like I think a couple hundred left. There was like 200 left. And I'm sure that the pandemic probably didn't help with that either, but they've been in decline for a long time, like a long time. Even in 2017, they closed almost all the Kmarts and the Sears in Missouri. They closed almost all of them down. I don't know if Sears was still around, but I know the Kmart, they still had a couple left in Kmart. I mean Kmart in Missouri, but they closed down like all the Sears, I think, pretty much, because I was looking on Google Maps, and a lot of them were closed already. So clearly, yeah, I mean, a lot of them were already struggling, and that goes for like, well, Family Video. I don't know, Family Video, I felt like should just wait to see what happened, but I think they decided to just close all of them down because they decided to close all the Family Videos down because they're like, well, people are stuck at their house now and can't leave it, and they were probably like, which it's probably better to just get out of this while we can and all that. I think Family Video probably should have just waited it out a bit longer to see what happened, but I guess I can kind of understand why they kind of, shut them down, but I don't know, especially now that movies and all that are kind of becoming more of a thing. I thought they could have kept that open, Like, I mean, the thing is, though, I guess they pretty much just rented stuff there. You could buy stuff at Family Video, but you mostly just rented a movie. So, yeah, I kind of wish they would have survived a few more years, at least, because I would have probably rented some stuff there, but unfortunately, yeah, they closed them down, and they closed the website down, too, and all that, but I don't know, but there are stores that have shut down and all that, but compared to restaurants, yeah, I don't think the stores have struggled as bad as the restaurants when it comes, because of the pandemic. I feel like they were more so struggling before that. But that kind of has the same thing with the restaurants too. I feel like even like Long John Silver's and all that, they were closing down locations, I think, before that. They even closed down our Captain D's, which I'm gonna say Captain D's and Jeff was actually much better than Long John Silver's, I thought. I've been in both locations. I thought Captain D's it felt more like a fish shack and all that. It was really cool and all that. But they closed it down. There are still quite a few of those. I think compared to Long John Silver's, I think there's actually more Captain D's in Missouri I've been looking at than, of course, they're all kind of more towards the St. Louis area and all that. They're not like in our area, but yeah, they pretty much closed a good chunk of them down, though, because again, they were struggling in business before that. But yeah, I feel like this is probably going to be the nail in the coffin, though, for a lot of these businesses that were struggling. This is probably going to finish them off. And I feel bad for a lot of these businesses. Yeah, some of them kind of did it to themselves, like McDonald's, kind of did this crap to themselves and all that. But basically, I feel like they're going to survive and all that. But a lot of these other, restaurants, I feel like are going to end up. A lot of these other restaurants are going to end up, closing down and all that. And I mean, like Red Lobster, for example. Well, they got out of bankruptcy, but I don't know how long they're going to last. But I actually was at one, and anyway, they actually weren't too bad. I remember them being kind of expensive, but I went in there and didn't spend a lot of money at all. It was a really nice experience, And I went to the one in Columbia. But that's the problem, though, it's just like, it's cool and all that to have, this stuff, but the problem is, like I said, it's just, businesses have lost a lot of money and all that, and I have a feeling like it's probably not going to be the greatest the next 4 years, because I've talked about my opinion on like presidential stuff and all that, and I have a feeling Kamala Harris isn't going to do much like for like I think she's going to probably get elected as president. I would be surprised if she doesn't, but I have a feeling, she's going to get elected, and we're probably going to end up having more price hikes and all that, because she flat out tried to blame Trump, and say, that the economy is, she's basically, she's not wrong about him, screwing up, with COVID-19, because Donald Trump was saying that in the debate. He's like, everything was much better, we handled the COVID-19 and all that, and, now, you kind of didn't really handle that very well, Donald Trump. Sorry. I don't know you much as a person. Like, I'm sure maybe you might be a nice guy. I don't know. But you really didn't handle, the pandemic very well and all that. But then, you got Kamala Harris and all that trying to say that the economy is better now. But like I've said, this is this video right here. And a lot of these businesses are struggling. They're freaking shutting crap down left and right, and all that. And like I said, it's not getting better. They should be paying these employees, pay these employees to keep this or pay the businesses, give them money. They have all this money they spend on crap like the military and all that, which is good, and we need the military, but we also need people to have jobs to pay for stuff, and I feel like, I'm like, again, I'm just like, I don't want to get too political, but I'm just like, come on, like, saying like everything's much better, that's a bunch of bullshit. I'm sorry, it's bullshit, and I'm saying it's better and all that, but like I said, I don't want to get too obsessed with it. I'm sure she's going to win and all that, and, I'm just like, I'm sure we're going to be dealing with more of this crap, and it's unfortunate, but that's just kind of how life is, It's just how life is, I feel like we're kind of getting back to the Depression ages, back in the, I think it was the 1930s or 40s, was it? Or, I don't remember exactly when the Depression stuff started, but a lot of people were poor, and businesses were kind of struggling back then and all that, I feel like that's kind of how we are now. I don't know if they'll ever be as bad as that, because we do have a lot more options now to shop at, and work at, but I still think we're pretty much in a serious depression era, in life. I do think we're probably in that. And that's kind of how it's just been for a while, it feels like America's kind of just repeating itself, and, in general, that's kind of how it is. In general, people just repeat themselves. It's how history works and all that, and whether if you like it or not, it's just kind of how it is, and that's why we have people fighting back and all that to stop stuff, but again, you can only do so much, I'm just like, but like I said, I don't think I could be wrong, maybe Kamala Harris might do something, but after she said that about Trump and all that, and trying to say that things are actually better, I don't think she's going to do anything, because that just kind of tells me she's not going to do anything about it, and that's kind of unfortunate. And I really don't want Donald Trump. I'd rather have a completely different person, running for office, but that's kind of what we're stuck with, it's kind of just how it is, I'll pick probably Donald Trump over Kamala Harris, but like I've said, I keep saying this too, because I don't want people to get the wrong idea. I'm like, people can vote however they want, they can vote, that's how we are, we vote for people and all that, and we just accept people's opinions, you don't need to, like, get mad at people and all that, because I've got people, like, that have gotten kind of irritated about that stuff, and I'm just like, just let people vote. Don't need to call them names and all that. You just need to, like, vote and just be human, just be human, that's what we humans do. We need to learn to, like, cooperate, But yeah, I don't know. But like I said, though, I don't think a lot of these businesses are probably going to considerably go bankrupt and shut down. But I do have a feeling a lot of them are probably either going to disappear, like, completely, or a lot of them are probably going to shut down a majority in our locations and only have a few remaining. That's why I feel like what's going to happen. But, I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and probably let things go from here, though, because I need to kind of... I actually need to kind of, get going and all that, because I'm going to have to... I'm actually watching my mom's dogs while she's going to Louisiana and all that, so, I'll talk to you guys later, alright? Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.